Speech Pitch by Iska Sak.
Hi there, and welcome to Speech Pitch by INESC-ID. I'm Pascal, and today I have with me Catarina Bolteho, a very special guest, or at least the context of the podcast, since she is also one of the people who kickstarted it, basically, back in 2020, I think, right?
Yes, exactly. Hi.
Hey. Good to have you here, Catarina. And maybe for the beginning, it'd be great to have some introduction about yourself, or what you're doing, what research, and who you are about.
Yeah, so exactly. So thanks for having me, first of all. I am Catarina. Yes, I'm a researcher. My main focus is on speech as a biomarker for health. That was the topic of my PhD that I defended last year. Yay. So that part is done.
Yes, really, yay.
So I'm now a postdoc researcher in Lisbon. It's INESC-ID. I was a part of ISCA-SAC, hence all the podcasts. History, and I don't know, should I say more now? Or
No, I mean, this gives a very good rough picture, and maybe since it's really the strong relation maybe with the podcast, so it would be cool to hear like a quick overview of how you got it all started back then, where the name comes from, for example, and like how you did.
Yeah, we were starting. I was already a volunteer for ISCA-SAC. And then I think it was the year that I started coordinating the mentoring, I think. But I'd already been engaged in ISCA-SAC, and this was COVID time. And so we were feeling that we had not really a lot of contacts with other researchers. So the nice thing of conferences, of getting together, knowing researchers like more senior and also the same age or same academic career level, this was not really happening anymore. And we were thinking, what can we do to try and encourage people to get together, to hear some stories, because we were discussing that often at conferences, when you know about these researchers that are super famous, but then you see them more as normal people, right? Because you get to know their stories, their hobbies, and that's something that I really like about conferences. And that was the idea of Speech Pitch. So we started discussing, and we wanted to have an informal conversation to talk about research, yes, but also to get to know the people, get some advice for students, and kind of have this informal setting. And so we started brainstorming, what can we do? And we had this idea of the podcasts. And about the name. So we had kind of a voting between all the members, so everyone could pitch in with some ideas. I remember one of my suggestions first was something like in the lines of all talk and no PhD, or all talk and no work.
Oh, that's also a good name for sure.
Because so in Portugal we have like a famous sentence from a comedian, but it goes something in the lines of, they talk, but then I don't see them doing any work. Well, this is another joke. But so having this kind of reference was a lot of fun, but it was not so... Then it was not so expendable for everyone else. Like everyone in Portuguese would get the reference, but then it was not so expendable. So the idea of Speech Pitch was not mine. I don't remember exactly who came up with this. I think maybe Mariana from our team. But we all voted, and this was the clear winner. And then everyone was contributing. I think it was Thomas that designed the logo. But it was about this idea of getting to know people, even when we were in COVID times. And I'm really happy that you guys keep doing it, even though we are here in a conference in a much nicer setting than home recordings. It makes me really happy that this continues.
Yeah, and it's super cool, the work that you did before, of course, to set this whole thing up. And as you said, it's really cool to use it as a platform to talk to the researchers doing some amazing work, but also to get to know them on a equal level, basically, as also just humans, right? And I guess we took over. I guess it was getting too busy with you then in the postdoc time, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, towards the end, so we're starting with the podcast, and then I also came up to be the general coordinator of ISCA-SAC plus the mentoring, and getting the PhD done. It was becoming too much, and I was really happy to pass it along. I think that these initiatives, it's good that we don't, if we can pass it along and stay for a little bit as advisors and then carry on, it really makes it continue, because it gives some continuity to the projects. And yeah, after the PhD, actually, things are calmer.
Yeah, that is maybe also a very good transition, right? Like now you're done with the PhD and this first Interspeech after your PhD. So how does it compare? Like how is it going now?
So I don't get a ticket to the students' reception anymore, which makes me very sad.
Yeah, true. You could try to
But I'll
sneak in,
go to the reviewers, so I'm
Ah,
hoping this
okay.
one will be also good. I mean, it doesn't change much. So I'm still presenting here, and that is a good thing. Also, I'm chairing a session. Okay, that's a new thing.
Whoa, yeah. No, you're in
That's actually a new thing, yeah. But I guess at least I feel that this community is very friendly and not very hierarchical, so we can just approach anyone. It doesn't really matter if you have a PhD or not.
What are you presenting here?
I presented this morning, so it was this work for Alzheimer's detection or cognitive decline detection. It was actually a group effort. So after the PhD, we decided to do a team collaboration and participate in a process challenge. So it was a work a bit different than what I usually do. It was still in health and health biomarkers, but it was more about comparing different approaches and getting the knowledge of different people. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, nice. And you just presented the challenge contribution.
Exactly. Most of the challenge contributions, the lessons learned. And yeah, it was interesting.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's yet again, Interspeech is good for this kind of exchange. And I mean, for me also, maybe bringing this up, one of your very impactful contributions for my work is circled around reference intervals. I think it was 2023 already at Interspeech in Dublin, right?
Yeah, I think the first idea. It's cool work for anyone listening.
Exactly. So maybe give it a short quick
Yeah, I can
promotion.
just briefly tell the idea. So I work with speech biomarkers. So a lot of the works focus on the binary detection, right, of a given disease versus controls. And although this is an easier setting to evaluate, it's often not the real case in the world, because at least if you're thinking early screening, it may not be the case that a person is either a control or a given disease, especially when you look at these diseases that are present in an aging population. There will be risk factors for each other, like cognitive decline and depression, and but there are not a lot of data that's actually annotated for many diseases. And so we started thinking maybe we could just focus on first characterizing what is like healthy speech. And because healthy is very hard to define, we were like, okay, maybe reference, having like a definition of what is reference speech, and out of here maybe some patterns could emerge that could help not only doing the diagnosis but actually understanding better which patterns or which cues could be important when studying diseases. So yeah, we have these hopefully nice
Yeah.
visualizations
This framework,
to visualize the speech in like a radar plots. Yeah, hopefully there was also a paper by Lauren that followed on this work here, this Interspeech, that made me really happy, and hopefully we'll have more collaborations on that in the future.
Indeed. Hopefully, yeah, I think, as you said, like the promising thing is that you approach it rather from the other side, that you are not control subjects and diseased subjects, but that you try to build a rich pool of healthy subjects over the whole population, and then you can control many different disordered speech without modeling that disorder in particular, but just seeing that something might be off with that speech sample. That's quite promising, and glad to to keep working on that one together, of course. And maybe like coming then back to Interspeech itself. Yeah, you presented in the morning today. You attended also several Interspeeches during the PhD, which is, I think, also quite some regular routine that you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, more or less. Like overall, it didn't change much, but it changes a lot the whole view. When I first came in 2018, I participated in a young females researcher workshop. It was a lot of fun, but a little bit overwhelming, right? Because this is huge. There was a lot of cool research, a lot of like strange keywords that I hadn't heard about before while doing my master's. And so it was a bit overwhelming, but I was in a really nice group of people, and everyone was really friendly and kind of convinced me that there was more to research than just, sitting in your laptop, reading your papers and doing your code, and showed me a whole new dimension. Now I don't feel that's that overwhelming anymore.
Yeah, nice,
That's a good thing. And because I've been attending Interspeeches for a few years now, I think it kind of feels a little bit like home, because I get to see the same people over and over again, and that's a really nice thing. Like, you get to see your friends again. Yeah, I noticed that I attend less less technical sessions now because I keep running into friends, like
Yeah.
when I'm on my way to something,
Yeah.
which is also a good thing. I think the research conversations that happen in the hallways are also just as valuable as the technical contributions of just getting all the researchers together in one place. That's also pretty cool. Also, our area, so the research in health biomarkers is really increasing. Like when I started, I don't know, there were much fewer sessions, and now like every slot there is at least one session that I really want to attend. So that's a good thing. It's an area that's expanding. Makes me really happy.
Absolutely, yeah, same here. I mean, in the same area, so I can just also like confirm that. And also what you said, Interspeech, it's really nicely about familiar. Then, yeah, thanks so much for being with us today, Catarina. It was really a pleasure catching up and also having you on the podcast in this format, of course, yeah.
Thank you so much. It's new to me also to be on this side, but I'm really, really happy, and congratulations to you guys for all the cool work you're doing. It makes me really happy. So keep going.
Yeah, thanks so much for laying the cornerstone for that, I have to say. Like, credit where credit is due. That's really good. And yeah, thanks for tuning in to this bonus episode. We might be interviewing your favorite speech researchers in the future, so be sure to subscribe wherever you're listening to your podcasts. You can also follow ISCA-SEC on X and LinkedIn to stay updated. Until next time, have fun.
Speech pitch by ISCA-SAC.